Jemima Moss, Charlotte Wright-Haley and Joe Brown. On the benches for both sides, the potential debut for Exeter Chiefs Grace Eckford and a potential debut as well for Worcester Warriors Laura Thomas. Before kick-off then, as both teams make their way out onto the pitch, this Remembrance Sunday, we will take a moment's pause on the referee's whistle to remember all of those who have given their lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you all to be upstanding. At this Remembrance Sunday, we will hold a 1-minute silence before kick-off to honour all of those servicemen and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice to give us the freedom we all enjoy so freely each day. We remember the 25 former Exeter Rugby Club players who gave their lives during the World Wars I and II. Their names are listed on 2 special plaques in the county suite here at Sandy Park.
Impeccably observed at Sandy Park, and a final huddle for the Exeter Chiefs team then before they get underway here. Just whilst they're getting ready then for both of you, who are the players that you'd be looking out for today in a Chiefs shirt?
Yeah, so for me personally, I'm really excited to see Nancy at number 12. This is again her second start in that shirt. She's a young player, but she's got a great skill set. She's a really hard physical runner, great in the contact. So I'm excited to see what she can do to link the forwards and the backs together today. And then in the forward pack, looking forward to seeing Ailey Sinclair in her home debut here. She's such a hard worker, and I think she's going to find a way around the pitch on those offload lines, and I expect to see her in a lot of space.
Here we go then, Worcester get us underway at Sandy Park. The ball goes over the head of Charlie Willett. It's gathered by Lossie Holland down below us. Patricia Garcia then in at scrum half out to Robinson. She tips it on to Ebony Jeffries. Good carry from the flanker. Robinson again then out the back to McGillivray. Chiefs getting slightly stuck in midfield, so it's a hard carry from Poppy Leach. And the ball then still being worked along the back line. Half break there on the far side. Garcia again back in the pocket, and another good carry there from Charlie Willett, it looks like below us. McGillivray steps in. Ball though goes forward for the Chiefs. Disappointing there. Strong opening effort from them and a strong opening defensive set from the Warriors as well. First scrum of the match will be Worcester's. Scrum half then, Jess Kershaw will put in to this scrum. A perfect attacking opportunity here for the Warriors. On a, have to say, gloriously sunny day at Sandy Park. You can feel the winter chill, but to have the sun with us still is lovely.
A rare treat.
Definitely a rare treat. Remember being up here for the Sarries game and for the Quins game last season. That was an experience.
Take a sunny day over a rainy day any day. Especially on a reset scrum. Get to enjoy it.
Just on that, I talked about it a little bit with Liv Church when I was up here commentating last. See, scrums are back this season in the women's game. See, McKinley, this one's obviously aimed more at you than Gabby, but how does that alter the game when you're back playing on the field?
Definitely as a forward, we love having those scrums. It sets a great attacking platform for us, and it can change the game if you've got a very dynamic pack, which we do have. It can be a really good place to win that mental battle against the other team.
You can see a bit of dynamism there from Worcester Warriors as well. A great carry from Joe Brown, but a superb turnover from Exeter Chiefs. And Garcia sees some space in behind and kicks long. Almost goes through the legs there of Evie England, but she tidies up well. Liv Jones looks to try and meet her, but then the Exeter defence gets there second time round. Great hit, and Worcester now suddenly back in their half.
Brilliant pressure from the kick chase.
And that's the thing you get with Garcia and Robinson at 9 and 10 today. You get two fantastic kicking options for the Chiefs. There's another fantastic kicking option actually there from Worcester, but it only goes down the throat of Merendois to Garcia. She juggles but holds on to it. Another kick then from the experienced Spanish scrum half, and chases up her own kick. Almost manages to gather it, just drifts forward. And Worcester then with some tidying up and some work to do here, just outside their own 22. Kershaw then back in at scrum half. Good tackle there from Abby Middlebrook and Charlie Willett. No advantage coming then, says the referee, and we will come back for a Worcester scrum. Referee today, Max Weston. And I suppose that's a good thing with the Allianz Cup this year, is it's not just for players, it's for officials as well. People being able to get those opportunities they need to develop to the next level, and focusing on the players then. Someone like Maisie Allen, her first start at number 8 last week, she was fantastic for the Chiefs, wasn't she?
Yeah, and I think it just it's going to pay dividends into all the clubs, especially when people have to be out for international duty, and especially growing the game for young English players.
There's another good scrum there from Worcester, and they break away off the back through Joe Brown. Winger Abby Kershaw then has to step in for her sister, with her tied in to the ruck, but she's back there now. The ball goes to Ellen Murphy by the looks of things. It's a booming right boot from the fly half. Deutsch can't take it the first attempt, but that's okay. It goes backwards. And she now looks to return. Out on the full though from the fullback. That's a strong net gain there for Worcester Warriors.
Seems both sides want to kick a lot of ball today. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top of those territory battles. I think that'll have a big say in the swing of this game.
So then, Carmen Tremeling to throw in for her side once I can get my words out of my mouth. And messages then going into her from captain today, Akina Gondweet. Solid ball there for the Warriors at line out, and it's off the top, but Ellen Murphy can't collect. There's an intercept there, and the ball is worked off to Nielsen. Strong carry from the hooker, puts her side on the front foot. Garcia then out to
Space
Robinson.
Out wide. Oh.
There was space out wide, it didn't quite pay off. No advantage coming though, and we will come back for an Exeter Chiefs scrum this time. First put in of the match for Garcia.
Interesting to see how dominating Chiefs scrum can be today. Compared to how they were last weekend, completely different conditions, so be good to set a foundation right now.
And just on that, we talked about Duncan a little bit in the build-up coming in as a scrum coach this season as well. What's he brought to the team other than the obvious international experience?
Yeah, Duncan's absolutely amazing. He's just such a technical coach when it comes to the scrum. Obviously, we're blessed and lucky to have him with the Canadian national team, so to have him here at Chiefs has been amazing, and he's really brought some dynamic and important views to our scrum.
Strong scrum then from the Warriors, it has to be said, and Maisie Allen has to deal with it at the back, and she can't. Good pressure there from the Warriors pack. Quite rightly there, they go around patting each other on the backs. Elizabeth Shermer there, G-ing her side up on her first start after her return from injury. And let's see then what Worcester can do with another opportunity to attack.
Worcester have loaded all of their backs off to the left. Seems they have a mismatch here. Let's see if they can put it to use.
See then, that Worcester scrum is working really well in these opening 6 minutes or so here. And Kershaw then out to Murphy. Gabby Cantorna's called it. Let's see if Worcester can call it as well. Not quite. Good defence from the Chiefs, but Worcester still keep looking over to that far side, building the phases here. Great hit there by the Chiefs, but Worcester reload. Huge collision there. Abby Middlebrook, it looked like, and Charlie Willett getting their hands to the defender and to the attacker rather, and getting her to ground.
Lovely line speed.
Brilliant live speed there from Ebony Jeffries as well. Again, so strong last week, an imperious performance from that Exeter Chiefs pack.
Lots of big double shots being made, and that's really helping Chiefs defense. They're working their way up the field even though they don't have possession right now.
Worcester then are going backwards, but they do still have the ball.
Ooh, little dummy switch.
Just trying things a little bit now in the face of that Chiefs pressure in the defensive line.
Oh, and then one at the turnover.
There's brilliant breakdown work there from the Chiefs, but Garcia's seen some space and she's off. Worcester not 10, so another penalty advantage.
Great pressure from the defense. Push them down the field and ultimately get the turnover. I think that was Maisie Allen in on the jackal.
That's one of the things as well. See, it's not just about the attack. The defence can be such a strong weapon as well for you to build yourself into those positions and territory in the match. And Garcia then to put her side into the corner, and she does just that. Clara Nielsen then to throw in for the Chiefs, about 15 metres or so out from the Worcester line, but most importantly, first time with ball in hand in that Warriors 22. Messages then from Abby Middlebrook to Nielsen as she looks to throw. Let's see what the Chiefs have up their sleeve here. The line out doesn't quite work, but it's picked up at the back by Delgado, it looked like. And Chiefs have been able to recycle it as Garcia, and the ball tipped on again. Another strong carry from the Chiefs. Worcester all over that ball, but Exeter manage to keep their hands on it, and they're still looking to attack. There's Jeffries now with the carry, and you can hear the crowd below us starting to get themselves G'd into this. Robinson then,
beautiful line from
lovely
Ailey.
Inside ball, almost through there. Chiefs just 5 metres out now. The ball then to Poppy Leach. Strong carry from today's co-captain, and Garcia again to Jeffries, popping up again, and she's 2 metres out now. And this is where you usually expect to see the Chiefs really showing what they can do around the fringes. They're a metre short after that carry. Another penalty advantage from the referee. Worcester calling for numbers on that far side.
Space back to the left now with the backs.
They don't need it though. They are over. We'll get confirmation of that try scorer for you. But all that matters at the moment though is that the Chiefs are on the board.
Try seems to have been scored by Abby Middlebrook on her home debut.
Abby Middlebrook then with that opening score for the Chiefs. And Garcia then will line up the conversion, her home debut, as Gabby said there, and she was so impressive last week. 75 minutes or so on the pitch, and imperious around the breakdown, around the park, and in the loose as well. Garcia then was just as good last week off the tee, 2 from 3. And let's see if she can add this one here.
Abby's one of those young dynamic players who's so physical on the ball, so not surprised to see her in that short range scoring there.
That's so important, isn't it? You've done all of that hard work in defence, won yourself that opportunity, and to reward that as well with a try like that.
Absolutely. Points on the board are key, crucial, especially at the beginning of the match, so hopefully we'll be able to use this as a platform to move forward.
Garcia then lines up the conversion. Easy as you like from the scrum half, and it's an early score for the Chiefs. 11 minutes on the clock, and they lead by 7 points to 0. And Worcester then, they've had their lion's share of possession, but now they need to look to try and respond here. Long kick over the head of Doidge and bounces dangerously. Robinson does brilliantly to keep that in play. It looked like it was going to go out dead, but it's only gone 5 metres or so away from her line, and Worcester then with a prime opportunity here to respond immediately. Gondwy with the carry, coming in at pace. And Kershaw at scrum half. The ball out the back to Ellen Murphy. She thinks she's seen space. Liv Jones unable to gather it, and so are Worcester. There looked like a knock on there from the Warriors as well, but the referee says play on initially. His assistant on the far side has picked that up. Perfect opportunity for Worcester, and we see that so often in the game at the moment, where teams just can't quite hold on to the ball from the restart. How much of an issue is it that you both focus on in training, looking at those restarts and getting the ball out nice and easy?
It's definitely something that we pay a lot of attention to and work on quite a bit, especially after scoring a try. The most important thing then is recapturing that restart and getting yourself back down the field. So it's definitely an area of the game that really just lets Worcester straight back into our 22. It's not ideal, so hopefully the defense can clean that up. We can move forward again.
Perfect opportunity then for the Warriors. The Chiefs scrum starting to get a bit of a foothold here, marching Worcester back, but they get the ball away in Exeter Chiefs' hands. Fantastic turnover for the Chiefs, and they win a penalty as well. Worcester there not rolling away.
Worcester is just so quick over those breakdowns, so it's going to be a key focus for the Chiefs today to really focus on making sure that they're bringing support with their ball carriers and ensuring that possession is retained.
Garcia then will look for a long clearance kick for her side to get them out of jail. And she does just that, finding touch on the 10-metre line. A let-off there, it has to be said, for Chiefs, albeit a let-off that they managed to secure for themselves with that fantastic scrum. And Clara Nielsen then will look to throw here and get slightly cleaner ball than last time for the Chiefs. Gabby, as somebody that's played fly half and at centre this season for the Chiefs, opportunities like this where you're on your own 10-metre line, so not the exact calls, but what sort of things are you looking to try and build?
Yeah, so especially in a line out, it's when we have the most space as a line. So really what you're looking to do is either try to hit into the midfield and then expose the space on the edge, or go straight into that wide space. But it's a really good opportunity to get your loose forwards attacking backs and make a break through those centres.
Obviously it always helps if you can win yourself another penalty, as the Chiefs have just done. And Garcia then will look to edge her side further up the field. Another solid touch finder there from the scrum half, and we're now into a good attacking territory here for the Chiefs with 14 minutes or so on the clock. Again, instructions going to Clara Nielsen before this line out. Let's see what Chiefs have got up their sleeves here. Solid line out from the Chiefs, and McGillivray pops up at first receiver.
Oh, there you go, Ebbs.
Brilliant carry from Ebony Jeffries there off Flo Robinson. Another penalty advantage for the Chiefs. Offside Worcester, and it's perfect for the Chiefs, but it'd be disappointing for Worcester to back up those penalties with other penalties and just allow Chiefs to get that easy net gain on territory. Garcia then has opted to point to the posts. A long old kick here for the scrum half.
Around 38 out, not too much of a breeze today, so this will be all on her leg.
As we touched on earlier in the match, Robinson and Garcia at 10 and 9 respectively today. Fantastic kicking options. You've seen the boot of Merrin Deutsch already. We have Chiefs top point scorer up alongside us today in commentary as well. And Gabby, whilst Pat's lining up this kick here, all of that work that gets done on the training field with Gareth Steenson, how invaluable is that for all of you?
I think it's really helped our game develop along. We love to play with possession, but having everyone in the back line being able to put foot to ball really allows us to be dynamic and keep the defense guessing. And I think that's what makes us so successful in our carrying, is because we also have the ability to kick.
Garcia then lines this one up. It's going to be tight. It just has the legs. Fantastic boot from Garcia, and she opens up a 10-point advantage for her side. And Worcester then, again, will make their way back to halfway and look to actually get their hands on the ball again. Ellen Murphy then ready to take this restart. And again, it goes into that same spot, picked up by Lossie Holland. Really good carry there from the outside centre, beats the first defender. And Garcia then in at scrum half onto international teammate Laura Delgado. With a strong carry there. And Garcia then looks to be setting herself up for a box kick. Unlucky, the bounce just going the wrong way and it goes out on the full. A slight sigh of relief there from Worcester's number 8, Jo Brown. She looks to be disappointed with herself to not take that initially, but actually it's probably worked out for the best for her side. And Carmen Tremeling then to throw in for the Warriors. Let's see what they can do here. Another really solid line out, as you would expect. And Ellen Murphy, and a switch again. She struggles to hold onto the ball, but she manages to just about off of that little pop from Meg Varley. And Kershaw then back in at scrum half. And Worcester then making a break through on the fringes of the ruck there. I couldn't quite see who that was. It looked like Amelia Buckland Hurry, but I may be mistaken.
Good line.
I know who that is though. That's a fantastic carry from Jemima Moss at blindside flanker for Worcester. Brilliant carry there from the flanker.
Great counteract by the Chiefs.
There's a Chiefs player though down on that far side. They've managed to get a turnover. Brilliant work. But the referee now calling for time off here. We'll get confirmation of who that player is. It's Charlie Willett that is down for the Chiefs. Medical team will obviously take all of the time that they need. It has to be said, she's been really impressive in this opening 18 minutes or so as well around the breakdown. Charlie Willett, her first start at Sandy Park as well. Just whilst we're waiting for her to receive attention, she's sitting up right now, which is really good to see. And Worcester's captain Akina Gondway over just getting a bit of clarification from the officials on a couple of decisions so far. For both of you, whilst we're in these sorts of positions, whilst you've got an injury like this and all that care and attention being taken, what sort of messages are going through the camp whilst you're in the huddle?
I think in the backs, what you're really looking at is the space on the edges. They're creating it, and I think on that last box kick, they were calling for the ball to be played to the right because Worcester had dropped so many in the backfield. So really about backing the call from your wingers and letting them have ball, especially on such a clear, sunny day. You won't get many conditions like this moving forward, so it's important to play ball while we have it.
Yeah, forwards I think are just focusing on making sure that we've got our calls for a set piece if this is going to be a scrum or if they're planning to take this penalty and kick to a line out. Also just reminding ourselves that we need to play with line speed and aggression. Just a good chance, generally speaking, for the team to reset and make sure that you're on the front foot. There's been a couple phases of play here where Worcester's really been attacking hard, so just a good chance to take a breather, reevaluate and reset.
Fantastic then to see Charlie Willett up on her feet. Warm round of applause from the crowd, and she's straight back into the action. Really good to see. She was speaking in the week about how much she's been loving her time in the Southwest since she moved over the summer. And the referee then calls time on. We'll resume with a scrum for the Chiefs after that turnover just before play was stopped. Garcia then. Chiefs have split themselves here, 3 and 3 on both sides of the scrum.
Worcester have left quite a lot for the fullback to do as well in the backfield, so we'll be interested to see what options they take.
There'll be a lot of pressure then on Kat McNamee. She
Well
does
taken.
really well though to take that fantastic play from the fullback, and again a former Exeter University student. Loads of Exeter University players, current and former, on display today 10 in total across both teams.
Great double shot coming in from
Brilliant
Sinclair.
double shot there in defence from the Chiefs. Kershaw then feeds the ball out. Middlebrook and Delgado, though, are there as the first line of defence. And Ellen Murphy, again, the ball goes in behind, but it's picked up by Karis Cox. And again, that line speed that McKinley and Gabby were touching on, really coming to the fore for Chiefs. Maisie Allen, it looked like they were almost managing to squirm the ball back for her side, but Worcester just managed to hold on. Not now though. Robinson then darts in at scrum half, and the ball goes out to Jeffries, and Jeffries breaks through. She's hauled down by Ellen Murphy, had to make that tackle, the fly half. And the ball then onto Poppy Leach. She shows and goes, drives hard into contact. And Robinson again at scrum half to Garcia, out the back to McGillivray. Let's see what she can do. She feeds Doidge. Doidge cuts inside, but she's well taken by two Worcester defenders. Garcia then seems to think she's being taken by the defender, but the referee says play on, and Liv Jones now has the ball on the far side for Exeter. Into the 22 again now for the Chiefs. Setting themselves, readying themselves. Tip on from Jeffries, and a brilliant break. Pulled down. But
A lot of space here on the edge.
There is the space. Can they see it? McGillivray carries hard. The crowd then really getting into this one. Below us, and another good carry for the Chiefs. A penalty advantage as well. This is just the sort of play that Susie Appleby will be delighted to have seen. Garcia takes quickly.
That's a penalty.
That's definitely a penalty.
That could be a card, yeah.
That has to be a card as well there.
Cynical foul.
Cynical play by Worcester. It had to be done, otherwise Garcia was surely going to be over. And let's see then what the choice is. It's going to be a tap and go penalty. Laura Delgado with the carry. Normally Sachiko Cato in these positions, but she's away on international duty.
Well met by Worcester's double shot.
Fantastic double shot from the Warriors. Garcia out the back. There's space if Chiefs can use it. McGillivray feeds it on to Holland. Out to Liv Jones. And she races in and around.
I think the pass was just slipped forward on that. We're going to have to check it.
Time off though, says the referee. Has that pass gone forwards? Let's see what the officials decide. No try, a forward pass. Disappointment for the Chiefs after such a well-worked move.
I'd like to see the Chiefs' backs holding their depth a little bit more. Liv Jones has found herself in 20, 30 meters of space, and I think they just need to get that ball to her early and let her have a run.
Like you said, they created the opportunity and they created the space really, really well. It's just about making sure that the execution is right. Pressure still on though for the Warriors. 5 meters out from their own try line.
Good chance for the Chiefs scrum here to be really dominant and get the team back on the front foot.
A really good opportunity as well. Both scrums have been working really well so far this afternoon. Let's see what happens at this one then. Chiefs have got the shove. Can Worcester manage to get the ball out? They can. And they go for a little tip on in midfield. Some valuable meters there for the Warriors. And the ball is put back into the pocket.
Tidy exit from the Worcester Warriors.
Really good exit there. Really good work from Worcester. And Exeter then will have the line out outside the Warriors 22, but still in a really good attacking position. Messages then going in to the line out from Poppy Leach before Abby Middlebrook goes over and passes on the instructions to Nielsen again. McKinley Abbey, someone that made her first start last week. She was on the bench a couple of times last season towards the end, couldn't quite get off and get onto the field, but she made a real impact last week. What does she bring to the side as well as a young gun?
Yeah, Abby's just a great young dynamic player. She brings a lot of intensity to training sessions, and no matter whether she's on your team or you're playing against her in training, she's going to bring those hard shots, great intensity, and just a great gal to have around. So really happy and excited for her to be playing so well on her last two debuts with the Chiefs. She definitely has a bright future ahead in these colors.
Lots of players out here today for both sides that have bright futures ahead of them. Chiefs then coming away with the ball. Holland to Doig. She releases quickly to Garnet McKinder, and she races into the 22. Rather than a young gun, McKinder, an experienced head that knows what she's doing. First start of the season for her after loads of tries for the Chiefs last season in the Premier 15s. Worcester, though, not rolling away at the ruck. And a penalty for the Chiefs. Let's see what the choice is here. Garcia then is going to pump this one into the corner. Time off then quickly from the referee, just having a word with Gondwy again as the penalties keep starting to rack up for her side. That's really what's been costing them so far. There's been those penalties just allowing Chiefs easy ball in their territory.
And being a man down there, they can't afford to get another team pen and potentially another card. So they've really got to see if they can fix that at the breakdown and absorb some of that Chiefs pressure.
Just a couple of checks then from Abby Middlebrook and Clara Nielsen with the referee as well. Worcester then have had that word, that team warning again, and Gondwy passing on that message to her side. Nielsen then to throw for the Chiefs 5 metres out. But it's taken though by Worcester. Great read at the front of the line out from the Warriors. And a disappointing outcome for the Chiefs, but a sigh of relief for Worcester as Flo Long comes away with the ball. And the ball again goes back to Ellen Murphy. Brilliant kick.
Exit.
Fantastic kick from the fly half up to the 10-metre line.
Been really impressed with Worcester's fly half so far. Her kicking, her ability to see space, and her calmness under the pressure has gotten them out of trouble a few times now.
And so that's the one thing you get with this cup competition, as we said as well, a mix of experienced faces and youthful faces, and Ellen Murphy is certainly somebody that knows what she is doing at fly half. A new signing for Worcester this season. Chiefs, they come away with the ball. McGillivray again pops up at fly half, and a fantastic carry from Ailey Sinclair there. And Nielsen then with the carry. There might have been an opportunity there.
So much space on the right side. Hopefully they ship that ball.
And the space is there. Robinson was calling for it. You can see her jumping up and down, wanting the ball. But it's an intercept for the Warriors. And again, Chiefs can't quite get that final pass out to Liv Jones on the wing to stretch her legs. And Worcester then, again, back to Murphy. Again, that trusty right boot. Brilliant kick in behind again. Liv Jones tidies up. Puts a little dink through. Doesn't quite find touch, but she chases up well, makes the tackle. And Jess Kershaw has fed the ball and comes away with it. The scrum half feeds on to Gondwy, her captain. And she's now back in position. Chiefs, though, off feet at the ruck. An opportunity then now for Worcester. With about 26 or 27 minutes on the clock at the moment. And Murphy then will drill this one down into the Exeter half. Fantastic kick again from the fly half.
That Worcester kick is definitely being a game changer for them today.
And for Worcester as well, Chiefs have had a couple of opportunities, not capitalised. It's such a relief as a defensive side, but then to get this position as well and this territory, they're going to be really looking now to try and make their impact on the game, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely, and Chiefs are really going to have to dig deep here to get back on the front foot and try and capitalize on those opportunities that they're being given. You don't want to give a team like Worcester too many chances to get it right.
That's a really good line out then from the Warriors. Kershaw readying herself, feeds it to Tremelin. Good carry, but met with a great tackle by Chiefs. Players there for her though, and the ball now being worked wide. Another little inside ball there from Meg Varley. Chiefs defence reads it well though and wins a turnover.
Great work by Poppy Leach there. That breakdown, she spotted the gap, was great there in her double tackle, and just got straight over the ball. Crucial turnover.
Brilliant turnover there, especially as you said, crucial. Worcester were just looking to build the phases there and starting to look dangerous in attack. And Garcia then take her time, make sure she can get all of the distance she can on this kick. Great nudge then from Garcia, finding touch on halfway, or near enough halfway, and Nielsen again then calls the ball boy over, wipes the ball down a little bit. It might be a sunny day, but the ball is still going to get a bit greasy out there. Instructions then again below us. 5-man line out for the Chiefs. Leach then, fantastic jump, fantastic take from the co-captain. Brilliant throw, it must be said, from Nielsen as well. Worcester were putting the pressure on there. There's a bit of a scrap going on below us here with Charlie Willett and Worcester's number 4, Elizabeth Shermer. Both though back to their feet as Ebony Jeffries breaks through. Fantastic break, there's space. It's Garcia. Has Garcia got the legs? Yes, she has. Out of nothing. A fantastic second try for Exeter Chiefs. Brilliant break from Ebony Jeffries. Fantastic support from Patricia Garcia. And Gabby McKinley, I saw you both smiling there. That was a fantastic try.
Yeah, that was a beautiful try. Chiefs absolutely had space on the edge again, but the dynamic running of Ebbs just put him straight through the middle, and the inside support from Pat is as good as you like. So that was a lovely try. Probably going to make a highlight reel, I would bet, so we love it.
Garcia then will have the opportunity to add to her try there. With a kick in front of the posts, and we were saying there, obviously Worcester were building the phases, they were starting to look threatening, and like that, Chiefs able to score their second of the match. Absolute sucker punch for the Warriors, with a man down as well, a player down rather I should say. Garcia then to line this one up.
Also looks like the Worcester player who had a card earlier is about to return to the field.
Chiefs then making the most of that player advantage there with that try. Garcia then adds the extras. Lovely nudge from her. And Evie England then returns to the field for Worcester. And they're back up to their full complement. Just after the half-hour mark. And let's see how they can respond here. So McKinley, we touched on Ebony as well pre-match. She was fantastic last week as well. Brilliant take there from Pat as well. But what sort of does she bring to the side at flanker? Such an abrasive but brilliant breakdown operator.
Yeah, Ebony is one of those players that you're happy she's on your team. She's a silent assassin, absolute workhorse out on the pitch. Runs great lines, great on defense, and just a real motivator for her teammates. She's pretty quiet, but her impact is immense.
There's a breakdown in communication in midfield there for Worcester, and they have to go tracking back. And the ball then goes to the far side. Worcester then looking to build some phases and build a little bit of momentum in this match.
I'd love to see the Worcester attack start using their continuity. When they link post-contact, they look really dangerous.
And they look dangerous again there, but didn't quite work out for them as the ball bobbles forwards, and now is an opportunity for Chiefs. Willett then looks to get her hands out and does fantastically brilliant offload from the second row. And Lossie Holland finds McKinder. McKinder stretches her legs. Has she got the gas?
Oh, she'll finish that every day of the week.
Yes, she does. Fantastic third score for Exeter Chiefs. Brilliant play there from Charlie Willett. Firstly to get the hands away, and then Clara Nielsen to see the space for McKinder, and that's a third try for the Chiefs. You can hear the roar from the crowd below us. The Chiefs really starting to get that front football now, really starting to get into the swing of things here. I have to say, that was a fantastic offload, first of all, from Charlie, and then a brilliant little pass from Clara as well.
Yeah, and great linking from Lottie to get that ball to Garnett. Again, these Chiefs swingers have enough pace, you just got to get them the ball, and I think with that 5 meters of space, she's done brilliantly. So moving forward, I'd like to see them get that ball out to her a bit more. And then on the flip side from Worcester's defense, just got to finish that double shot and tie that ball up just to prevent those offloads from happening.
Tough kick for Garcia. Out wide. She looks to line this one up.
Pat loves to take her time.
Definitely loves to take her time. Lining this one up. Good nudge. Fantastic nudge from Garcia. Doesn't quite have the legs. But a brilliant effort from the scrum half. And for Garnett there to get that score as well. Her first start of the season, first appearance last week against Sale off the bench. A local girl as well. It's fantastic to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's huge for her. Last year, you know, she was in the starting shirt every weekend, and, you know, I think the switch now, you haven't seen a difference in her. She's such a great teammate. She's such a workhorse, and she's such a powerful wing. So it's great to see her get over the try line again, and just hoping to see another beautiful finish from her.
The ball then goes backwards from the restart, says the referee. And Chiefs away again. Willett again getting her hands free in contact. Nobody there for her to make the offload to this time. But Jeffries again with another huge carry. The Chiefs then looking to align themselves here. There is a bit of space. Ailey Sinclair almost again manages to get the offload away, but we saw her explosive pace there off the line. And Garcia again then setting herself. You can hear Flo Robinson shouting instructions to her. And that one goes high, high into the Devon-air. Joe Brown then looks to take it but can't. Poppy Leach looks to pat it back but can't. Flo Robinson can to Laura Delgado. And Poppy Leach again steps in at scrum half. Robinson out to McGillivray. Good carry from the centre. Chiefs then looking to see if they can get their fourth score. Holland onto Doidge, and Doidge breaks free. Inside ball, the chance is still there.
Well held by Meza in the contact there.
Brilliant work again from the Chiefs. And they're still building. Offload out the tackle, and there's got to be an opportunity now. McGillivray feeds it on to Maisie Allen. Maisie Allen, should she have passed? McKinder was waiting for the ball, but there's an opportunity now. And Garcia feeds it out to Robinson. And the fly half, easy as you like, puts the ball down. Fourth try of the afternoon for Exeter. And McKinley, that was another gem.
Yeah, it was great work by the backs and the forwards, definitely a team try. Had some opportunities earlier in a couple phases, but great to see them finish that off.
And Nancy McGillivray there, a really good carry at 12. Maisie Allen, another strong, abrasive carry. Garnett McKinder probably would be wishing she passed. She would have been in for her second score in about
I was
5
hoping
minutes.
she'd get her second right there, I can't lie. But I think it's a great shout out to the Chiefs back row. All three of them have been working really hard in the breakdown, and their effect on attack has been immense. So well carried, well done to recycle the ball, and then Flo gets to walk in for the try.
Those hard direct lines by the Chiefs forwards are really paying dividends.
They really are. We've seen several of them in the last few minutes. Ebony Jeffries, Maisie Allen just then, and Ailey Sinclair asking questions on halfway as well. Garcia then will line up the conversion again for her side. PA system can't put Garcia off though, and she extends her side's advantage. And Chiefs then have raced out to a 29-0 half-time lead. Sorry, I get my words all muddled up, but a 29-0 lead with half-time approaching. And after a slow start, it's been a really, really strong Exeter Chiefs performance so far. Ellen Murphy then gets us back underway, testing Charlie Willett out. Unfortunate there for the second row, she can't quite hold on to the ball. And I may have jumped the gun a few seconds ago, but that was half-time then. 29-0 at half-time at Sandy Park. Fantastic performance from the Chiefs so far. Poppy Leach racing back into the under the tunnel below us then, and the rest of the side follow her. For both of you, been a really good half for Chiefs. Who stood out for you in that half?
Definitely for me, Ebony Jeffrey is absolute menace out there. Some great carries, great ball handling, and is really just setting a great platform for the rest of her teammates to work from. In the backs, Flo Robinson and Nancy have really been pulling the strings and doing a great job.
And then for me, I'm going to have to say in the forwards, another back row, I'm going to have to go with Ailey. She affected 2 turnovers in that half. She was the one who cleared that ball after the mistaken kickoff, and then applied kick pressure as well. So just huge work rate out of her. Also like to give a shout to Abby Middlebrook, obviously the try-on debut, but she's working hard in those carries. She's getting the team go forward, and she's leading the line in defense and putting Worcester under immense pressure, which is what's allowing us to play in the right areas of the field.
Looking ahead then for the second half. Work to do for Worcester, but they have looked threatening when they've had ball in hand. They've just not been able to capitalise at those key moments.
Yeah, I think Worcester is creating a lot of really good space for themselves. Their attack is looking promising. They have big ball carriers. Like I said, when they play continuity, they're going forward. They're finding the spaces around those forward carries. What I'd like to see out of them is to turn that ball outside instead of inside, so hit a few more of the outlines, a bit less of the inside lines. It's kind of feeding right into the back row of the Chiefs, which clearly love to take a jackal opportunity. I think they've had around 4 or 5 in this half, so I'd like to see them stay away from them, recycle their ball, and keep building pressure.
So thank you very much to everybody for joining us so far. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with you for the second half. Welcome back then to Sandy Park. Worcester Warriors making their way out below us for the second half here.
Looks like they've had a sub in the centers with Jade Shekels coming onto the field. Excited to see her return from injury. I know last year when we played her, she caused us a few headaches in the midfield, so excited to see what she can do out there.
Hear the roar for the Chiefs as well, and as Gabby said, Jade Shekels making her return to competitive action for the Warriors. She was so impressive for them last season. Good to see her back out on the field here. No changes at all then for the Chiefs. Patricia Garcia took her time over the kicks in that first half, took her time coming out onto the pitch for the second half as well.
You know what they say, good things are worth waiting for.
100%. And Garcia then will get us underway for the second half on the referee's whistle. Checking left and right. And there's the whistle from the referee. And there's the restart from Garcia. Shekels then, first touch, she can't gather cleanly, and it's gone forwards. Perfect opportunity here for the Chiefs, and a disappointing action there from Shekels. She looks to get herself back into competitive action, as we said, but a perfect opportunity then for Chiefs to go hunting after a 5th try of the afternoon.
Be great for the Chiefs to start this second half on the front foot, so it'll be interesting to see how they play this phase.
Garcia then feeds into the scrum. Worcester's pack looks to try and get a push on. Exeter's front row stands up firm. Robinson to McGillivray, almost into the hands of Holland. The referee said it initially went backwards, but then he says that second contact there with McKinder, that the ball was stripped by the Warriors and they can now look to clear. The ball is carried back into the 22, so Ellen Murphy can't find touch, and that's the end of advantage as well. A lovely little bit of interplay on that far side for the Chiefs, and they've still got ball in hand just outside the Worcester 22 here. Garcia feeds on to Allen, huge carry again from the number 8. A large toot on the referee's whistle. Penalty for the Chiefs. And Merrin Doidge taking over the touch-finding duty for this second half and put her side back into that Worcester 22. Tempo, the call below us from the Chiefs support staff. For both of you, after coming out of the second half, it's been a really good first half performance. How important is it just to make sure that those messages are, it's still 0-0, back to the basics and making sure everything is perfect?
Yeah, even though you've got a lead, you never want to get too high or too low. So really just focusing on staying on that front foot, controlling the basics, controlling what we can control, line speed, our aggression in defense, our communication on attack. It's crucial.
There's a good maul there from the Chiefs. The referee's arm is out again. Another penalty advantage coming. You have to fear for Worcester that there may be another card coming soon as well if this trend continues. And there is the sound of the whistle. Penalty again for Chiefs. Let's see what they choose to do here.
I'm a little surprised he hasn't given Worcester another warning. That's 2 back-to-back in the span of a minute and a half or so. So I'd be interested to see if he takes the time to do that on the next one.
Garcia then puts her side 5 metres out, swapping back with Doidge and taking that kick. We saw a little hint of the rolling maul there from the Chiefs last time round that drew the penalty. And if this line out is clean, let's see what they can do here. You can hear the crowd below us really getting into it again. Worcester though, brilliant first drive to stop it. But Chiefs are over for their 5th try in the far corner. And again, It's Clara Nielsen going over her second try in 2 matches for the Chiefs. That was a fantastic maul, it had to be said, and just the start that you want to see at the start of the second half.
Definitely got on the front foot. Hopefully we can keep that momentum moving for the rest of this half. Great to see the forward action.
Garcia then will line up the conversion. For the Chiefs, it's out wide again, another challenging kick for the scrum half. She nearly had the legs in the first half. Let's see what she has here. Another solid kick from Garcia. Does it have the legs? Yeah. It does, but not quite on target this time round. Applause from the crowd. They're happy with what they're seeing so far. And that's just the start Chiefs wanted in this second half. Not so much for the Warriors. And Ellen Murphy will get them back underway. Chiefs then come away with the ball from the restart.
Another great carry there from Ebb.
Fantastic play, and there is opportunity here again for the Chiefs, but fantastic rush defence there from Worcester's open side flanker Charlotte Wright-Haley. And there's a knock-on there from the Chiefs as well.
Good defensive pressure from Worcester to force that error. They launched well on the outside, which made Meza, cut in and left them a bit short on support. So well done from them. Let's see if they can get off a good set piece move and get on the front foot with their attack.
Let's see what they do then. 4-2 split either side of the scrum. There's options on the left for Kershaw with Ellen Murphy. There's options on the right with Jade Shekels. Let's see which way they go. It's a good scrum from the Warriors pack, and initially they have to tidy up the ball, and that rather stunts what they were looking to set up initially, and Gondwy has to take it into contact. Kershaw again then on to Flo Long. Good carry from the Worcester prop, and Murphy feeds the ball out to Shekels, and Shekels breaks free, steps through, and she's still going, Jade Shekels. She's hauled down a metre short. Chiefs then look to get their hands on the ball, create some chaos at the breakdown for Worcester, but the Warriors have come away with the ball well. Gondwy then has to step in to make sure the ball is secure, and she's going to pick and go. 2 metres short now, the Warriors, after that fantastic break from Shekels.
They've created an
Brilliant
overload on the
defence
left
though
now.
from Exeter so far. Hard carry and hard tackle as well, forcing the player backwards. But Worcester recycle and go again. Metres short of the line now as they hunt that first score. They're keeping it tight. They're now spreading it wide. And there it is then, a first try of the afternoon for Worcester. And I'll get confirmation for you, but it looked like it was Abby Kershaw that went over. The Worcester then are on the board.
Beautiful break from Jade, well picked up by the 9 to keep that possession, and I think the patience in that 22 paid off for him this time. From the Chiefs, we're going to need to see a bit more aggression on that goal line defense, and need to stick in it and get off that line to put pressure on that. That was a bit too easy.
It was a fantastic break though by Shekels. Obviously she would have been disappointed with that first fantastic kick over there as well from Ella Murphy. Shekels would have been disappointed to drop the ball in that first action back into the game, but she's more than made up for it now. Fantastic carry from her. And Chiefs then, Garcia will look to get us back underway here.
Time off right now. I think Ailey Sinclair is down in the corner just receiving a bit of a headgear, a little taping.
Hopefully for Sinclair it's just a few running repairs and she'll be able to get back up and into the action. She's been really good again today all over the park for the Chiefs. Head tape then going on to Sinclair. Large amount of head tape going on to Sinclair I should say as well.
Well, seems she doesn't like it, taking it off now.
Usually in this case I'd say taking all of the care and diligence that they need and obviously making sure that it's all strapped up and she's able to play.
I will say she doesn't have the head shape for headgear, so it may be a vanity thing. We'll get confirmation on that towards the end of the game.
As we wait for Sinclair. Can see you both chuckling next to me. Trying to hold it in as long as you can.
Yeah.
We'll just wait. Referee then standing next to Poppy Leach. Looking on at Sinclair in the distance. The tape has now gone back on.
She's had a storm of a game so far, so I'm hoping this tape will contribute to some more speed.
Streamline aerodynamic, I think that's a good shout.
Definitely for Ailey Sinclair. And still, we just wait. She's all good to continue. We're just waiting for the final bit of strapping to be done. And there we are. Bit of applause from the crowd. And confirmation it was Meg Varley that went over for that try. Apologies to Meg. It's incredibly difficult to see into that far corner from our viewing position up here this afternoon. Garcia then will get us back underway. 34-7 at the moment. Fantastic kick from Garcia, causing chaos for Worcester. And a knock on as well. Difficult, bobbling, bouncing ball. And an opportunity for Chiefs to respond and get themselves back into the scoring mindset here. Approaching the 50-minute mark here then at Sandy Park, and for most teams usually this will be an opportunity to start to look to the benches. We touched on Grace Eckford potentially coming on for her debut today pre-match. Obviously we've not seen a lot of her. She's been training really hard. What sort of threat are you expecting from her if she is able to come on and make her debut today?
Yeah, looking for a big shift from Grace today. I think she's looking to come into the center field, so she'll bring a lot of pace, good decision making, good ball handling skills, as she sometimes runs around at 9 and 10. So I think she'll provide a good link to get the ball to the outside.
There's Maisie Allen then breaking off the base of that scrum. Abrasive carry again from the number 8, and Garcia then looks to move this quickly onto Middlebrook. Good carry from the prop. Chiefs want fast ball now, but it's a penalty for Worcester, not releasing the call, and disappointment for the Chiefs. But a good result for Worcester as they look to try and pull themselves back into this match.
Yeah, well done by Charlotte to get her hands in there and infect the turnover, release the pressure of the error off the kickoff, and hopefully get them back on the attacking foot.
She was a player that Susie touched on again in the week as a player to watch from a Worcester perspective, she brings so much brilliant work to that back row. A really good young player, a really promising future, and already carving up in the game.
She's really driving that Worcester defense and really wreaking havoc at the breakdown for the Chiefs.
Line out then doesn't go straight. That's a disappointment for Worcester. And Chiefs will look to try and attack again here. They choose the line out rather than the scrum option here. The line out's been working really well all afternoon, and why not see if they can get themselves some good quick ball off the top. It's gone to the tail, not taken cleanly by anybody at all until Garcia tidies up, shimmies her way out of the first tackle, and Ebony Jeffries then bludgeons her way over the attempted tackle from Jo Brown. There is space out wide here. Merrin Deutsch is a 2-on-1. She chooses though to not pass to Liv Jones, taking it into contact with the touchline, closing in on both of them. Garcia then out to Willett. She is scragged and taken down by Flo Long. Garcia back in position again. Robinson off to Delgado. Delgado almost manages to break free. Gondwy gets her hands over the ball, can't quite get the turnover for the Warriors. Chiefs again though. Deutsch popping up at first receiver, building the phases, looking threatening, looking menacing, and there's Nielsen almost through the hole.
There is lots of space here on this right touch line if the Chiefs choose to use it.
Worcester though fighting back at that breakdown, but Chiefs still come away with possession. Garcia then fighting for that ball on the floor. Oh, that is a huge hit on Ailey Sinclair. Flanker does brilliantly to hold on to the ball there. That was an absolute bone cruncher. She's straight back up onto her feet though, and Chiefs then still attacking. There's McGillivray sniping, darting, siving past the first defender. And the ball out to Jeffries. It's a low one, but she holds on to it well. And Garcia, good, quick ball. Robinson. And crossing the call from the referee. Chiefs just getting a little bit muddled there, a little bit close and a little bit up into each other's space when they were looking for that position.
There's a Chiefs player down on the far side. Looks like it's Poppy Leach. She is sitting up, but...
And you know, if Poppy Leach goes down, that it's usually something that needs a bit of attention. Somebody that does all of that unsung work around the pitch for the club. And McKinley, before your injury, like both of you formed a fantastic second row partnership, and Poppy's been continuing that trend since. What does she bring to that engine room?
Poppy is just an absolute workhorse. So if you see her stats after the game, she really does a lot of that dirty work that a lot of times goes unnoticed by people who may just be watching it, but her breakdown counts and her work around the contact area is absolutely immense. She's just such a dynamic player, really leads from the front, and really does an excellent job of controlling our line out. So just an all-around quality player that we don't ever want to see go down.
And again, all of the care and attention needed being taken with Leach. She's kneeling up now after what looked like a pretty hefty collision just before that huge hit on Ailey Sinclair. I suppose that's one good thing from up in this position in the gantry with Ailey with that head tape on now. We can't miss her when she's carrying into contact. She did really well to ride that tackle as well. Some huge hits going in defence there from the Warriors.
Absolutely, they're really bringing a great edge on their defense, and it's making an impact for them. It's making it quite challenging to get the front foot for the Chiefs.
And a round of applause then for Leach. Straight back up.
Great to see her back on her feet. This team really needs her out there today.
Quick check from the referee that she's okay to continue, and we will restart then with a Worcester Warriors penalty after that crossing in midfield for the Chiefs, just as they were looking to try and build the phases. Some clarification then from the referee to Worcester's number 14, Abby Kershaw. Ellen Murphy then drills that one into touch for her side, just outside the Warriors 22. Solid line out from the Warriors pack, and Jo Brown breaks away feeds it off to Meg Varley. And as Jess Kershaw goes the other way now. Strong defence there by Middlebrook, again making a nuisance of herself. And Nielsen as well, getting herself in there. It's the second tackle up. Worcester then feed the ball on to Elizabeth Shermer.
Great shot there by Nancy on their strong forward runner.
The ball again then fed out to Gonsby. There's a Worcester player down, looks slightly winded after that tackle. And that one goes aerial. Fantastic take from the Chiefs. And a penalty as well. In at the side, I think the call from the referee there, and Garcia just weighing up the options, pointing for Doidge to drill this one back into touch for her side. Which she does. Fantastic kick there from Doidge. And there's some calls down below us from the bench for the Chiefs. Looks like Daisy French and Brooke Bradley will be entering the field soon for Susie Appleby's side. Second line out there doesn't quite work as intended for the Chiefs, but they come away with it. And Garcia to will it, and she carries into contact. Worcester then again trying to make a mess of it at the breakdown, but the ball's there for Robinson out to McGillivray. There is space here. Lottie Holland to Doidge. She feeds it on to Liv Jones. But that one has drifted forwards. Huge contact though in that tackle on Liv Jones, and the Worcester player has stayed down. It's a huge collision between the pair of them. It's Kat McNamee that's stayed down. It's a fantastic tackle from the fullback.
Great attack from the Chiefs. Well done to get themselves into that edge space and create the 2-on-1. Again, just looking to see if they can get that timing right and put that away next time. And hopefully then we see Liv with a bit more space and hopefully finishing that try ultimately.
There's some Worcester players warming up below us as well. Both coaches then looking to shuffle the pack. See what their bench can bring to the action here at Sandy Park. Key messages and instructions then going in to the Chiefs players down below us, and there's another call as well. Michaela Roberts as well, looks like she will be entering the action soon. Back onto the pitch though, whilst we're waiting for all of those decisions to be made below us. We'll be resuming with a Worcester scrum just outside their 22. Time back on from the referee. Kershaw then puts in really good scrum from the Warriors pack. They had the momentum, but they still chose to play it. And Ellen Murphy has seen space. Interesting kick, but it's managed to find its way over to Kershaw, and it's been fed back inside for the Chiefs. Shekels then rucks over for her side.
Lovely option taken by Worcester there just to keep the defence on their toes, and found a lot of space there.
It's clever play as well to spot that straight away off a scrum on your own 22, and there's Gondwy with another carry and another strong tackle on her. Worcester building some really nice momentum now, but the Chiefs' defence is holding firm so far, looking for the ball out of the back, just about manages to go to hand. And Worcester now, they've managed to get themselves into this position of holding on to the ball, looking and searching for that space. They just need to be sensible now with ball in hand, not try and force anything. And that's what Kershaw's doing at the base. There's a little chip over the top, it's definitely on, and it's taken superbly from Murphy. She gets into a scrap with McGillivray. And it's the Exeter Chiefs centre who comes away with the ball. Superb Superb work there from the inside centre. A really nice idea with the boot again from Murphy, and that one almost paid off for her side. Garcia now puts boot to ball. She's seen space. It's a lovely kick that drifts into touch just before Jeffries can get to it. Time off on the referee's whistle then.
Seems as though Nancy's down after that tussle in midfield for the ball. Hopefully nothing too serious, potentially just a cramp.
Fingers crossed it is just a cramp, as you say. In the meantime, there are those two changes for the Chiefs, both in the front row. Abby Middlebrook and Clara Nielsen, both try scorers today, come off, and they are replaced by Michaela Roberts and Daisy French. Just taking time then with McGillivray. There's a couple of subs below us for Worcester as well. Number 19, Sarah Moreira, coming on for her side. And I'll get confirmation of who she is replacing for you as soon as I can. It's Elizabeth Shermer who's come off, and then for Worcester as well, Vicky Foxwell and Vicky Laughlin, both making their way onto the field.
Number 22, Vicky Foxwell, and number 23, Vicky Laughlin.
And it looks like Jade Shekels has come off for Worcester. I can only imagine that she might have felt something, and obviously being first game back, they don't want to risk anything there at all for the centre.
Potential, of course, that she's on limited minutes, so she got her 20 and unfortunately has to be taken off now.
And Evie England as well, the other player to come off for the Warriors. We're back underway. Another kick from Worcester, fielded well by the Chiefs. Great defence from the Warriors, but there is still space there if Exeter can use it. Robinson slings it wide. And Garcia then again is there to tidy up at the ruck. Good carry there from the Chiefs. And Robinson out the back. McGillivray back on her feet. Good to see. Jeffries crunching hit on her. But another fantastic line from the flanker. And Robinson again, this time, passes out to Olivia Jones. She fights and looks for her way to ground, but it's been turned over by Jemima Moss. Illegally though, says the referee. And again, you'd imagine this one would be pumped into the corner for the Chiefs. Brooke Bradley taking off the subs vest below us. Looks like she will be entering into the action soon. That kick doesn't quite work for the Chiefs though. It goes dead, sadly. And Worcester then given the option by the referee. And they will be opting for the scrum. Garcia then replaced by Bradley. At scrum half, been a really good performance from Patricia Garcia today. Exactly what you'd expect from a player with her experience, just guiding her side around the park, and she receives a warm round of applause from the crowd. Brooke Bradley then off the bench for the second week in a row in this competition, looking to add an additional bit of pace and energy to proceedings here. Free kick though for Worcester, and they take quickly. Slight confusion there between Kershaw and Long, but the ball gets itself away to Murphy, and there's Laughlin, and Worcester then are breaking free, but the ball is knocked on. Chiefs gather the ball up and drive through contact. Bradley onto Leach, tips it onto Roberts. That's a huge tackle on her. Again, brilliant play by the prop to hold on to the ball, but there is opportunity out here now. Fantastic hands from Maisie Allen to Ebony Jeffries. And Moreira does well to drag her and pull her back as she looks to make that pass, but she gets the offload inside. Leach again looks to pass to Willett, but chooses to go into contact. And Robinson out to McGillivray. And there is an opportunity here for the Chiefs again, but that defence came up fast by Vicky Laughlin, and Worcester get themselves a penalty. Exeter guilty of holding on. Disappointing there, but that was fantastic hands from Maisie Allen, wasn't it?
Yeah, wonderful hands. Definitely ensured that we got the space there on the outside. Great line by Ebb. Little fancy offload there between her and Liv.
Yeah, loving that the Chiefs are looking to play out the back a bit more and find those outside spaces. I think next bit is, can they vary the defensive line speed with a few kicks, a few attacking kicks. There's definitely space in the backfield, and I think the wings are looking to get on the end of some of those.
We saw in that first half, obviously Liv Jones thought she was over, sadly a forward pass in the build-up. There is that space for Exeter if they can get those passes to hand and if they can get those passes accurate. Worcester, though, have been really good in this second half, really good in the first half as well. Just unfortunate with that penalty count that gave Chiefs the opportunities to get those tries. It's a good line out from the Warriors and a lovely little wraparound and a kick from Ellen Murphy over to Vicky Laughlin, and she looks to break past Doidge, but Doidge initially and then McGillivray does well to get their hands there and almost affect the turnover. Flo Long looks to pass, but it's intercepted by Maisie Allen. Allen bursts through, fantastic play by the number 8. Robinson then in at scrum half. Leach spins it out wide. Let's see what Chiefs can do here. Michaela Roberts with room to run, room to stretch her legs in midfield. The ball's bouncing about from the offload. It's picked up well by Merrin Doidge for the Chiefs, and they go back to that left side. Jeffries then offloads it, and it can't go to hand. Disappointing again for the Chiefs. We saw the offloading game. Brilliant play there again from the back row today.
Opportunities are there. It's just key for the Chiefs right now to hold this together for the last few minutes of this game and just not get too carried away with passes that may or may not have rewards with them.
Time off again, just some running repairs for the Chiefs.
Seems like it's number 12, Nancy, just receiving a bit of care again. Have been really impressed with Worcester's defense in the last 10-15 minutes. Their scramble and their edge defense has done well to keep the Chiefs out. Looking for the Chiefs to connect a few of those end passes and put some people into the try zone for the last 10 minutes of this match.
She's up on her feet, all good to continue. And just touching on Nancy there as well, Gabby, obviously both of you play in the same position. Young player coming through the ranks. She's really got a really good abrasive side to her game. She reads the play fantastically in defence and attack.
Yeah, Nancy is one of those players that's going to have a long and successful career. She's a big ball carrier. She's got a lot of speed, a lot of power, and her decision-making and ability to see space is excellent. So I'm looking forward to watching her grow and keep stepping up into that 12 shirt.
Play then restarting. Worcester coming away with the ball, a sub below us there as well. Laura Thomas, number 20 for Worcester Warriors, on for her debut, replacing Amelia Buckland-Harry. And there's another penalty against the Chiefs there at a high tackle. And it's Vicky Foxwell that has taken over the touch-finding duties now for the Warriors as well. Good first nudge from her. Worcester start to crawl and creep their way up towards the Exeter half. They've had a lion's share of possession so far, but the Chiefs' defence has stood firm. The only exception being that try, that fantastic break from Jade Shekels. They do well to get the line out there, but it's a bit of a difficult pass for Ellen Murphy to control. Comes off of her knees, and she's forced to kick out on the full, disappointingly, for the fly half. And there's another change being lined up below us for the Chiefs. Jess Thomas getting ready to come on to the field. First of all, though, we will have the line out and Daisy French to throw in for the side. Good line out from the Chiefs, but it's not straight, says the referee. That's a disappointing one again for Exeter. It's just not quite clicked as well as it did in that first half at times this afternoon. And we will have a Worcester scrum.
I think there's some tired bodies out there from the Chiefs. About 7-8 more minutes left in this match. Looking to see them turn it up a notch. And Jess Thomas coming onto the pitch right now will surely help with that.
And Laura Delgado then makes her way off the field for the Chiefs, replaced by Jess Thomas. And wholesale changes in the front row for Worcester Warriors as well. So Akina Gondwi, Carmen Tremling and Flo Long come off. They are replaced by Steph Evans, Abby Smitherman and Lisa Campbell for Worcester. I suppose that's every forward's dream really, isn't it? Straight onto the field and straight into a scrum.
Nothing better than that.
Let's see then how that new front row do for Worcester.
And coming on for the Warriors,
Just
the men,
inside
number
their
16,
22 here.
Abby Smithman,
Jess
number
Kershaw
17, Steph Evans,
gets
and
put
number
in.
18, Lisa Campbell.
And the scrum is wheeling, it's wheeling, but Worcester managed to get it away. And Kershaw then goes hunting for the ball. And that's a silly penalty, it must be said there, playing the 9 against the Chiefs. Just discipline there needs to just be more sensible and more clinical. And an opportunity for Vicky Foxwell to try and get her side nearer to halfway. Good nudge there from Worcester, and they are in fact just inside their own half here. And let's see then what Abby Smithman can do, her first throw of the match. And Worcester come away with it. Moreira gets her hands on the ball. That was a little bit of a scrappy one for the Warriors. But they've got the ball in hand still, most importantly, and they're looking to build. Foxwell then is stopped in her tracks by the Chiefs, but they come away with the ball again to Worcester. Murphy then feeds it out to Abby Kershaw, but she is met hard by Liv Jones, who then gets herself back into the defensive line. Ailey Sinclair all over that ball for the Chiefs. Can't quite manage to get the turnover.
Great double shot coming in from Poppy, Leach and Nancy. Could have turned that ball over.
Fantastic play again. The ball was out there, says the referee, and Leach then manages to create a bit of a nuisance there, but Worcester still with ball in hand, and a lovely little offload there to Moreira, and she breaks back up to halfway. Good ruck there from Worcester, quick ball, but then Kershaw gets scragged and trapped, and she has to take the ball to ground. And a penalty there against Exeter in at the side to call. Worcester have taken it quickly then, wanting to play here.
Oh, lovely 2-on-1 opportunities here.
Fantastic play from Worcester. Eventually Foxwell is pulled down, and again it was Moreira that was starting that one for her side. She's been a bundle of energy since she has come onto the field. Opportunities for Worcester, let's see what they can do. Up to the 22 now, building really nicely here, looking to break the line as Foxwell, little dart down the fringes, but she's lost the ball in contact. Fantastic strip there from the Chiefs.
Space here on the right side if Chiefs play quickly.
There is space. Leach has seen it and finds Jeffries. Jeffries carries hard and direct into contact. What else would you expect from Ebony Jeffries? Such a fantastic carrier. Knock on though, a phase later for the Chiefs. Disappointment. And Worcester then with a fantastic opportunity here to try and register their second score of the match. 2 more subs coming on below us as well, as Kaylee Armstrong and Charlie Woodman come on for the Chiefs. Charlie Willett and Olivia Jones making their way off the field. Really good performance from both of them today. And a warm round of applause from the crowd. Let's see then what Worcester can do with this opportunity here.
Good attacking setup from Worcester. Have some space on the right edge. Interested to see if they'll go there.
First of all though, they've got to get the ball out of the scrum. It's a penalty against the Chiefs. Kershaw then takes it quickly, feeds it on to Varley. Varley pops it off to Foxwell. Great hit in midfield there on Foxwell. But still, Worcester keep building. 7 or so metres out now from that Chiefs line.
Chiefs really have to dig deep here on this defensive set.
They definitely do. Worcester then probing, asking questions here. Really, really well held out. As a difficult ball to take. Keeps the attack alive for the Warriors, and they still break. They're up to 5 metres out now. Building the phases, taking their time. Strong, hard carries as they go in search of that second try. And out to Murphy. What's Murphy seen? Almost Foxwell there. Had the ball taken away from her, but she does fantastically to hold on to it. And then there's her scrum half, Jess Kershaw, gets stuck in attack.
Great hands to save that by the Worcester
Brilliant
player.
again work there. Brilliant work again there, sorry, if I can get my words out again. That time it's Kat McNamee on the floor for the Warriors. They've lost some position. They're about 15 or so away from the Chiefs line now, but crucially they still have ball in hand here. Huge hit from Sinclair. And Murphy again looks to use the boot. And Doidge calls the mark.
Well done by Doidge, well read.
Really good read there by Merrin Doidge, and really good play actually from Book Bradley as well there, just to get out of the way as Doidge came steaming in to take that one. And she backs it up as well with a superb kick.
Great nudge to release
halfway.
pressure. That was a great defensive set by Chiefs. Good patience, didn't give any pens away. It's exactly what you want in your 22.
Worcester then, having been 5 metres out from the Exeter line, suddenly find themselves 50 out, and again looking to build those phases and that possession to haul themselves back to within sight of that Exeter line. Good line out from the Warriors as Ellen Murphy out to Meg Varley. She chips through, and it's a bit all over the place in midfield. A knock on by Chiefs, and then an offside, sadly for them. And Worcester choose to take it quickly. The ball is eventually worked backwards, but there was a huge hit there from Kaylee Armstrong, but Worcester still break through. Working their way up towards that Chiefs 22. Back into the positions they want to be in, that they need to be in. And there is space here if they want to use it. McNamee cuts inside.
Can't help but feel like that ball needed to come a phase earlier.
There was an opportunity if that ball had been able to go. Thomas then does well to hold on to that one for Worcester. Chiefs defence all over Worcester again here. Murphy again looks to use the boot. It's collected brilliantly, but then lost forward. Or not, sorry, that's me misreading the game. Worcester still with the ball here. There's a 2-on-1. They cut through. Fantastic tackle again in defence from the Chiefs. And Kershaw again looks for the dart around the outside. Worcester back to within 10 or so of the Chiefs line, building themselves into this position. And it's a position they've earned from managing to hold on to the ball. That is a
Great double shot coming in from the
tackle
Chiefs.
by. Sorry, Gabby, you were saying there, brilliant defence.
Brilliant.
Still, Worcester with ball in hand. That Chiefs defence, though, has driven them back to around the 22-metre line. Still looking to build.
It's crucial that the Chiefs keep their composure right now and avoid any penalty.
There was almost an opportunity there for Charlie Woodman. She couldn't quite hold on to the ball from that floated Ellen Murphy pass. Worcester back on the 10-metre line. Knock-on advantage from the referee. And if Woodman had managed to hold on to that, you'd have to have imagined she would have been streaking in under the posts for her first ever Chiefs try. She is absolutely rapid when she gets going, isn't she?
Absolutely. Very speedy.
Kershaw then back in at scrum half, and again Murphy seems to really enjoy putting boot to ball at the moment, and that's taken fantastically on the right wing, and a brilliant offload for Worcester as well.
Great tackle by Doidge.
Really good tackle by Merrin Doidge. You can see the impact this defensive set is having, though. 2 players down. Ailey Sinclair just inside the Worcester half, and another player down on the far side for Chiefs. And the referee has had to call a halt to play as it was getting too close to the injured player, which is Nancy McGillivray. It looks like receiving a bit of attention for a bit of cramp. It's taken its toll this afternoon. There's not really been much ball out of play. It's been a fast, furious and really physical encounter.
Yeah, it's the speed of play has been rapid, and the players are really pushing themselves and trying to stick with the ball. Ailey's been all over the pitch, so not really a surprise that she's come up with a cramp. Same with Nancy doing the hard yards, hitting the breakdowns. So that's one of those games where, you know, obviously the scoreline is in your favor, but still physically you're pushing yourself and you come off a bit knackered.
Sinclair then back on her feet and back over to join her side.
Nancy is also back on her feet, so great to see that she's back up and can hopefully finish this game out.
It has to be said, but good to see her on her feet again, as you said. And we will restart again then. Not too much longer left of this match. And Worcester with an opportunity.
Crucial that the Chiefs keep their composure here for the last remaining minutes of this game, avoid getting into penalty trouble, and avoid giving Worcester any additional opportunities that they could take advantage of.
And that's the really important thing as well, is from a Chiefs perspective. You may hope and expect that the game is done, but it's about showing that defensive grit right to the end. But Worcester, though, break through a fantastic offload, and they are in for their second try. And it's Charlotte Wright-Haley, I believe, who has gone through the gap. Fantastic break there from the flanker, and Worcester then finally getting their reward for all of that endeavour, all of that hard work around the Exeter 22. And they'll be pleased to have got themselves onto the board again.
Great to see her getting on the end of that. She has been working hard all day, affecting turnovers, getting out of the line, delivering some big hits. So good to see her in some space and to get Worcester another try on the board.
And Ella Murphy then will line up the conversion for the Warriors. Let's see if she can go 2 from the tee. And she does just that. Time still on the clock then. Worcester coming back into the match with their second try. 34-14 now the score at Sandy Park, and Brooke Bradley will get us back underway. Great take there by Worcester's number 18, Lisa Campbell. Lovely little jump to keep herself in play. And Worcester again then.
Ooh. Well held there in the contact.
Really well held in contact, and Jess Thomas was there to put the pressure on. And there's space out in the backfield for Worcester. I think that's Vicky Laughlin that's managed to get hand on the ball, and there's a chip in behind. Brooke Bradley chasing back. Fantastic work there from the scrum half. Manages to snuff out the danger for her side. It's a brilliant kick, a brilliant chase. And that is the end of the match. Exeter Chiefs then secure a 34-14 victory here at Sandy Park. A second successive Allianz Cup victory for Susie Appleby's side, and that leaves them top of the tree with 9 points in Pool B. Really good performance today from the Chiefs, backing up last week's victory away against Sale. Who stood out today for both of you?
For me, it's definitely going to have to be Ebony Jeffries. Just as an attacking player on defense, she was putting in some great double shots. Her carries, great lines, just an overall workhorse around the pitch.
I'm going to have to give Ailey the same shout. I thought our back row and our pack in itself was immense, but she had the turnovers, she had the breaks, she was there on the support plays looking for the links, and I thought her hustle around the pitch was excellent.
Fantastic to see so many players getting their first home appearances as well for the Chiefs. Abby Middlebrook scoring on her first home start as well. For Worcester, they showed a lot of promise and a lot of adventure with ball in hand, especially with Ella Murphy pulling the strings at 10. Just by the time they managed to get those opportunities, Chiefs had already managed to stretch their legs. They will be back. Fantastic outfit as well. Looking ahead then, next week there is a rest week for the Chiefs as the final round of international fixtures conclude with the Red Roses taking on Gabby's US Eagles. Obviously I know you'll be disappointed not to play in that one, but it'll be great to see Rachel, hopefully, and Kate and Janine out there as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting up to watch that match. Honestly, every time we play England, it's always a good match, and I think the girls are really up for it. I'm looking forward to see Janine hopefully returning to fitness and making an appearance there. She's a devastating winger, and I absolutely love watching her play.
And as well, Wales taking on McKinley's Canadian side as well. 2 from 2 for the Welsh this autumn. Canada unbeaten before the England match, which has just kicked off today as well. What sort of challenge do you think Wales will pose for your team, McKinley?
Yeah, definitely Wales is going to be a tough game. They're a very physical side, and they've had a really strong start to their autumn series, so they'll definitely be riding a high as we prepare to take them on. It'll be interesting to see what that game brings. We'll see how Canada reacts after this England game. Hopefully that goes our way, and hopefully we can finish the autumn series on a positive note.
And then looking ahead to Allianz Premier 15's action, then Exeter Chiefs next in action on the 27th of November back here at Sandy Park against Loughborough Lightning. Should be a fantastic game. Be live streamed by Exeter Chiefs as well, so make sure to join us for that one if you can't get yourself down to the ground. If you can, get yourself here, get your tickets and support the side as they look to try and cement their place in the top 4. Make sure to follow the Exeter Chiefs women's team on Twitter at XChiefsWomen, and follow the website, Instagram and Facebook for all of the latest updates. For the moment though, thank you very, very much for joining us. We hope you have enjoyed following the game with us. I've enjoyed having Gabby and McKinley up here with me as well, and we'll see you again for the next one.
Goodbye.